Hi, this is Kristen Astorga, and I am doing a video diary 3 assignment for University of Houston downtown for patient provider communication class comp 3321, and I'll be answering a few questions today. The first question is, if there's a slight chance that an expensive experimental drug will prolong a dying person's life, should the insurance company or health organization pay for use of the drug? Yes, if it prolongs a person's life, the whole point of healthcare is we want to bring a person to a better state of health. If this experimental drug can save a person's life or even prolong it or even add benefits to this person would be great. I think this person is taking the risk themselves for wanting to use an experimental drug, and so I say yes. If two patients suffer from the same condition, should they be treated differently? I do not think so. My personal belief is no. They are both people, and healthcare workers should save people if they are able to, and they have the resources and the means. They should be treated exactly the same. What if one is a child and one is very old? This is where it gets tricky. I think it doesn't matter. I think an elderly person should be able to live longer, just as a child should be able to. If it's going to help an elderly person prolong their life or benefit it, I definitely think that we should help the younger generation as well as the older generation. The next question is, what if one is famous and the other is unknown? I don't think it should matter. I don't believe it should matter if they're famous or not. They both are human beings. Just because one is in the limelight more than the other, I don't think that should make a difference. However, society is different. Just because of the fact that if a person's famous, you better know that whoever in healthcare is taking care of that person, or whoever health organization, any of that information needs to be to the T, because that's how being famous, that's how it gets to a lot more individuals of what kind of care they had, or if they did not have good health care. The person that comes to mind is like Michael Jackson. I believe he was given medication from the doctor themselves, and that came out that it could be a health professional's fault of why he actually died. That's just one thing that comes to mind. The other question was, what if it was a homeless or a community leader? I still believe that it doesn't matter if it's a homeless person or not, but unfortunately, in society, the way the society works, if this person was homeless and they had the same issues and no family, it's unfair, but I believe people will fight more for that community leader to have better care, and because it has a ripple effect. That person affects, a community leader affects a lot more people in the community as compared to a homeless person. I hate to say it, but nobody would care. However, I believe that a homeless person should still have the same access to everybody. When it comes to like limited resources is when it's sad. Because unfortunately, somebody does have to make those decisions, especially how we hear in the news, um, COVID patients and the respirators. If they're limited to respirators, they do have to pick and choose the elderly person or the younger person, the homeless person or the community leader, the famous person or the not so famous person. So, unfortunately, that in society it does matter. Um, and let's see, if you could fund one or two of the following procedures, which would you choose? Explain why. The that I one that I picked is plastic surgery to improve the appearance of a person born with a facial deformity. I picked that one in particular because, unfortunately, society, when meeting a person, when seeing people, the first thing you do see is their face. And so I wouldn't want any children to grow up having, mental, physical um, issues because of that. I would think that that would be very hard for a young person to thrive in life if they are judged by their face, judged by their face, and it might keep them from their potential. That's just something that I feel isn't important. Another one is that I would do is chemotherapy for very sick people. Chemotherapy is basically killing off your cells. For you to be doing chemotherapy, you have to have a nasty disease or cancer. And I feel as if it's so expensive and it's so rough for people to go through. Why not fund why not fund somebody in that atmosphere to help them have less stress? Money is one of the worst stress to have, especially in healthcare. Everything's so expensive, nothing's for free, and I would love to fund all of them, but those are my top two choices. Thank you, and I hope I've answered your questions.